Hello everyone. The following is a summary of floods, a natural disaster which is profound information about human strength in facing disasters, and at the same time, a call for solidarity to combat the negative effects of climate change. Now, let's go. A flood disaster occurred in a residential area, and local authorities and all relevant parties were ready to evacuate people from the affected area. In residential areas, houses and buildings suddenly become lonely islands in the middle of a raging sea. The water swept away blocks of concrete, cars, and other small objects, creating a horrifying scene. The accumulation of water has led to traffic jams in some areas and submerged the largest markets and most important commercial areas, as water has entered shops and displays, as well as streets turned into lakes due to rising water levels. Many vehicles were swept away. Heavy rain caused some bridges to collapse. Rain also caused many landslides and collapsed more than 15 buildings. People died in the past 2 days due to heavy rains in several areas in northern India, where a woman died. She and her daughter died in Pradesh on Sunday morning after her house collapsed due to heavy rains. A family also died in a similar accident, and 2 soldiers also died when they were swept away by the flood. This area is called Sylhet. This entire city was flooded. Many people lost their homes and many other properties. The scene of a baby being saved by people from the floodwater. Flash floods hit New York City, flooding subway stations as remnants of Hurricane Ida hit the area, making traffic inconvenient. Viewed from above, the scene here becomes a vast sea of water. The green lands were submerged in water, leaving only pieces of grassland and trees standing in the sea. Seeing the herds of cattle drifting along the water was amazing. It was just vast water here. Cherished nature and property was severely damaged. Horrifying scenes after the tsunami. They swept away cars and houses. Infrastructure and public buildings were also destroyed. Emergency relief teams were sent to help those whose homes were damaged. Civil defense teams pulled water from the streets and assisted any trapped areas, and authorities closed many schools and businesses due to flooding. Fortunately, people were able to migrate to other places. Devastating floods devastated western Washington, USA. Cars and people were swept away by floodwaters. Heavy rain lasted for many days, causing rivers and streams in western Washington to rise beyond normal levels. Water overflowed from rivers, rushing into valleys and residential areas, causing an unprecedented flood of destruction. Flood photos devastated western Washington, USA, killing cars and people being swept away by the flood is a terrifying image that remains in the hearts of witnesses. Loss and despair are in the air, but there is also solidarity and hope in supporting and rebuilding communities after this disaster. Violent weather disturbances are occurring in large areas of Malaysia, and cumulus clouds have formed in various parts of the country, accompanied by varying amounts of intense rainfall, accompanied by thunder and lightning. When hail, it caused torrential flooding and extensive damage to property and infrastructure. May God's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you, our dear followers. The majority of Malaysia will witness during this period. Recently, intense weather instability, extreme weather, and catastrophic floods occurred in many places, causing heavy damage to property and infrastructure. Floods began after heavy rains everywhere. Climate change is a change in the climate system, including the atmosphere, hydrosphere, biosphere, and lithosphere. A disaster experienced severe flooding due to prolonged rainfall. The streets of the capital Uruguay turned into streams, floodwaters inundating many areas. The huge water level has flooded hundreds of cars, forcing local people to fight against the water, trying to save their property and valuables. Thanks for your watching. Hope you have time to feel about climate change. Please like, share, and subscribe to get more of our updates every day. Goodbye and see you again.